This is Bronny James, son of LeBron James, the best basketball player in the world. LeBron wants Bronny to play basketball, but today, Bronny is starting his football career with LA Galaxy. He's gonna prove that he's the better athlete than his dad by winning 5 Champions League titles and 5 Ballon d'Ors as well. We're here at the end of season 1 with Bronny James. He ends the year having not played a single game, but look, that's okay. He's 76 overall, and next season he's gonna dominate in LA. But you may be wondering, why does he need to win 5 Champions League titles and 5 Ballon d'Ors? Well, it's pretty simple. LeBron James, his father, has won 4 NBA Most Valuable Players and 4 NBA championships. So we need to overtake him and prove that Bronny is the superior James. And while he hasn't actually played a game for LA, Premier League clubs still see the potential in him. They can see his drive and his motivation is more than any player around him. So he joins Crystal Palace for $40 million. He's ready to team up and dominate in the Premier League. But he's still 19 years old. He's not the best player on the team by any means. He's going to need to work hard to get himself into this starting 11. But for now, Bronny is a Crystal Palace player. And here's his competition. Youssoufa Moukoko is here, one of the best young strikers in the world. He's 20 years old. It's going to be very difficult for Bronny to break into this team, but I trust him. Now, since America only play their league season from January through December, he's actually moved in the January transfer window, so I'm going to simulate 6 months to the end of the year and see how Bronny does in his first season in the UK. We're back at the end of the season with Crystal Palace, and they're in big trouble. 19th in the Premier League table. They might get relegated to the Championship. However, their front three is incredible, and interestingly, Bronny James has had a position changed. He's moved out to the left wing to account for Youssoufa Moukoko starting up front. This front three is very strong. The only way they're really falling down, I actually don't even know. This team is pretty good. I suppose this midfielder, they have Boutez and Nets. It's actually an alright Crystal Palace team, but they're going to need to pull off the great escape if they want to survive in the Premier League. 35 games played. They are right in the balance. So here we go, and it's Chelsea and Liverpool, but also Leicester City, who funnily enough are actually bottom of the Premier League table. Let's see if we can get through. Chelsea at home first. It's a 1-1 draw. If we beat Leicester, we might be okay. And we do. Liverpool on the final day of the season. Where does that leave us? 17th. We have a chance, a massive chance. Come on, Liverpool final day. Can we get anything? 5-1. We got battered. Oh, God. Oh, we survived. No way. Oh, my God. What a horrible final day. We only won 4 games all year, which is the same as Leicester, but we had 18 draws, which was enough to keep us in the Premier League. That is ridiculous. So Bronny James is still a Premier League player. He's now one of the best players on the team. Statistically, pretty decent. I don't know how he's played 40 games. That's a FIFA glitch. Don't worry about that. But 10 goals and 2 assists in half a season is really good. And don't forget, these are the Ballon d'Or nominees. Phil Foden, Vinicius Jr., Erling Haaland, and Rodrigo. These are the players that Bronny James needs to chase. And if he's going to win a Ballon d'Or, he's going to have to take it out of the hands of Erling Haaland, who's won the Ballon d'Or in 2025. Bronny James is still a couple of years off, but he's not a couple of years off contending for a Champions League title because he's one of the best young players in the world. No doubt massive clubs will be looking to sign him. So let's go to May and see how he's done so far with Crystal Palace. Back here at Crystal Palace, and while there are some changes at the club, one thing has stayed the same. Bronny James' development has been flying. 85 overall 20-year-old, 25 goals and 2 assists. Oh my God, he is a goal-scoring winger. Cristiano Ronaldo-esque 6'2" demigod. He's the best American player now, probably in America.
Cheers, Jeff.
And it's time for him to move on. Crystal Palace is a lovely club, and they're a big Premier League club and all this, but it's time for him to move up the table to a club with a bit more ambition than Crystal Palace. And it's a bit of a debate. Out of the top 4 teams here, it could be any of these clubs. They'll all be vying for his signature, but Bronny James wants to stay in England. It's a pretty tough decision, and it's a massive decision. Where will Bronny go? Well, maybe his decision could be made easier by this. The 2026 World Cup featuring none other than Bronny James. He'll start out on the left with Pulisic out on the right. Balogun up front. It's actually a pretty nice looking American team. And they have made the round of 16. If you're wondering who they're playing against, well, of course. I feel like they always play against each other in these tournaments. It's England.
Born England!
This is the England team that they'll be facing. It's a very similar one that's at the Euros this summer. It's USA versus England in the round of 16 of the World Cup. Can England get payback for 1776? They do! No! Foden in extra time after a late Dijk equaliser. Bronny actually scores in the game as well. I'm sure LeBron was at that game cheering on his son. It's a very good showing at the World Cup though. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Taking an excellent England team to extra time. There's no shame in losing that game, I don't think. But this is going to make Bronny's decision even more interesting. I'm sure all the England players will have been in his ear asking him to sign for their club. But where is he going to go? I'll be completely honest. I don't really think it was a tough decision for Bronny in the end. His dad owns a part of Liverpool. LeBron James is a stakeholder in Liverpool. So it was absolutely no question about it. Bronny James is a Liverpool player. His dad said, put the contract on the table, put whatever numbers you want in. I want my son to play for my football club. And here he is in the number 9 jersey. Bronny is a Liverpool player. This is the starting Liverpool team, and it's really good. Bronny James actually does start out on the left, with Berardi on the right and Gakpo in the centre forward position, false 9 kind of area. A centre back pairing of an old Virgil van Dijk and a prime Ibrahima Konate. Really, really good team. The Community Shield is actually a Merseyside derby. Okay, we can watch this and see if Bronny makes a difference. Could Bronny make an impact on his debut for Liverpool? They lose 2-1. Oh no. His old teammate Mateta scores as well. Ugh, that's poor. Let's go to the end of the year though and see how he does. We're at the end of the year with Bronny James. He's 90 rated. Oh my god. After his big money move to Liverpool, he's now the best player on the team. Goals wise, 34 and 17. Oh my god. 51 contributions in 51 games. It's a statement year for Bronny James. And in the Premier League, Liverpool are top with a game in hand. Somehow Brighton are second. Man City are third. This Premier League season is not over. They're also in the FA Cup final. They're on for the double, but they're not on for a treble. They got lost in the Champions League in the round of 16 against Juventus. But let's see if they can finish out this Premier League season. Fulham first away is a 1-0 win. Southampton then at home at Anfield, 2-0 win. They haven't conceded while we've been here yet. That doesn't continue as they lose to Nottingham Forest, leaving them on the final day 4 points clear. It's over. They've won the Premier League. Bronny James is a Premier League winner as the best player on the team. And now they have the FA Cup final against Watford to play. Can Liverpool win the FA Cup and do a domestic double? Yes, they can. A 3-2 win. Goals from Gakpo, Balde, and Gakpo again. Liverpool have done the double, with Bronny James being the best player on the team. That will not go unnoticed by Ballon d'Or voters. I can tell you that for free. He's now one of the best players in the world. It's time for him to begin his Ballon d'Or run. D'Or nominees are in. Bronny James is there alongside Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, and Ferran Torres. Weird. I don't know. Can Bronny James win his first Ballon d'Or? This seems like a bit of an open goal, what with Erling Haaland not being there. Come on, Bronny. You can do this. Yes! Bronny James wins the Ballon d'Or. I completely understand that it looks nothing like him. I did like my very best. Okay, I'm not good at this. Bronny James wins the Ballon d'Or. Okay, that counts. So he's got 1 Ballon d'Or on the board. He needs to win 4 more and 5 Champions League titles if he's going to overtake his dad's legacy and be the best James ever. We're back at Liverpool. Bronny's improved again. 93 overall. How many goals and assists this year? Oh, 33 and 9. Liverpool are 4th in the Premier League. Miles off the top. Bronny's the best player in the world though. He's already got a Ballon d'Or to his name. And they're in the Champions League, but they're losing. They're 2-0 down on aggregate. They need an absolute miracle to make it through here. And they don't get it. A 2-1 win is good, but it's not enough. Inter Milan progress. It's an okay season for Bronny. He finally makes his first Champions League semi-final, but they don't do enough to get through. And honestly, Liverpool are a bit inconsistent with them being like 4th in the Premier League and all. Maybe he needs to abandon his father's club and move on to bigger and better things. I can think of one club bigger than Liverpool. I can actually think of a few clubs bigger than Liverpool, but one of those clubs is undoubtedly Real Madrid. Bronny James is now joining Europe's storied elite. The same way LeBron moved to the Lakers, Bronny James is moving to Real Madrid to win himself Champions League titles. That is exactly what he needs to do. He's teaming up with Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham to dominate world football. He's got the number 9 jersey in Madrid, and he is ready to take on everyone. And this is the Real Madrid team he joins. He's going to be playing up front, it looks like. I've made him a striker because, look, it just makes sense, okay? He's not going to be fighting on the left wing with Vinicius. He's going to play up front. as a 6'2" demigod from the States. Jude Bellingham is in midfield with Martin Odegaard and Luka Modric. Martin Odegaard back at Real Madrid. Militao's in defense here with Molina. There's a few little weak spots here, most notably centre back, left back, and right wing. But they have money. Of course, it's Real Madrid. I think they're going to be okay. Ballon d'Or nominees are out, and of course, Bronny James is there alongside Leao, Vinicius, and Mbappe. It's the battle of the wingers. Who is going to take the Ballon d'Or? And in this competition, all 4 of them can win the Ballon d'Or. I've seen all 4 win it before. Who's going to take it? Will it be Bronny? It's going to be Kylian Mbappe. Oh, God. Okay. This is not going to be smooth sailing for Bronny. He's going to have to take out Kylian Mbappe, who takes the Ballon d'Or out of his hands. Champions League animation for Bronny, though. This is good. He did lose the Ballon d'Or, but he's still in with a shout in the Champions League. And this is how it's going. 97 rated, but they're playing him on the right because they want to play Richarlison up front.
What?
On top of that, in La Liga, they are 4th. Really struggling for whatever reason, but yeah, Real Madrid are a Champions League club. I expect no less for them than to be dominating in the Champions League. Here we go. Can we beat Monaco? Yes, we do. A 3-2 win. We're in the Champions League final for the first time, and it's Man United to play against. Liverpool's biggest enemy. Can Bronny get revenge for Liverpool on Manchester United? Was he the top scorer for Madrid? No, Vinicius was, and Vinicius got the most assists. Oh my God, but Bronny playing second fiddle. That is perfectly okay. But here we go. The Champions League final is actually in Old Trafford, which seems a bit unfair. And that's the Manchester United team. It's good, but Real Madrid have to be better. Is it enough to win Real Madrid and Bronny his first ever Champions League title? Yes, it is a 1-0 win. Vinicius with the crucial goal, and Real Madrid are Champions League winners. That is a massive result. Pull up the counter. Bronny has 1 Champions League out of 5. He's only 23. He's already won the Ballon d'Or. He's already won the Champions League. Still plenty more challenges to take down, but Bronny James is on his way. Next Ballon d'Or nominees, and he's not even there. Oh my God, he's not even nominated. He won the Champions League. How is he not nominated? It goes to Erling Haaland. How the hell is Bronny not nominated? He won the Champions League last year. Let's go to Real Madrid in May and see what the problem is. Now we're here at Real Madrid. Bronny James is still killing the game, and this team is just as good as ever. Actually, I tell a lie. Courtois is getting worse, and their right back is terrible. But that's okay. Are they in the Champions League? No, they're not. They are top of La Liga, though, but they got bounced in the Champions League. Oh my God, they got bounced in the round of 16 by Ajax. But how does LeBron James Jr. do? 24-8. Pretty good season for him, but not good enough. Not good enough for a Ballon d'Or. Not good enough for a Champions League. That will be weighing on his mind. It's 2030 now, so there is a World Cup to watch. And this is the American team that he inherits. He's going to be starting up front with Gio Reyna on the right, Christian Pulisic on the left. And this is America's group stage. Germany, Wales, and Romania. They can do this. And this is how they've done so far. 2 games in, they have 3 points. A win against Romania is quite simply essential. A 2-1 win, that's enough. Czech Republic in the next round. Here we go. America make it through their group stage. It's a decent Czech team, but the American team is strong as well. Who's going to make the quarters? It's going to be America. Pulisic and Musa with the goals. Nothing for Bronny yet, but that's okay. We're going to progress to the quarterfinals anyway. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. If Bronny wins the World Cup with America, does it matter how many Champions League titles he wins? Belgium to play? Ah, they lost 1-0. Never mind. We have a Ballon d'Or ceremony to watch. Bronny's only got 1 so far. He needs 4 more Ballon d'Ors to overtake his father's legacy. Please tell me Bronny is nominated for the Ballon d'Or. Come on. Yes, he is. Okay. Vinicius, Rodrigo, Erling Haaland, and Bronny James. All nominated for the Ballon d'Or. This is an opportunity for Bronny. Can he go the distance and win it? Come on, Bronny. Yes! Come on! He picks up his 2nd Ballon d'Or of the video. He's halfway to his dad's tally, and he's 3 Ballon d'Ors off overtaking him. Bronny James is a Ballon d'Or winner for the 2nd time. Deservedly so as well. In my opinion, he should have won the Ballon d'Or last year as well. Either way, let's go to May and see if Real Madrid are in contention. They've lost some of their key players. I wonder if Bronny's picking up the slack. He sure is. 23 goals and 11 assists. Nothing shabby whatsoever. And while Real Madrid are 4th and kind of struggling in La Liga, the same cannot be said about the Champions League, but they have a bit of a problem in the Champions League. It's an El Clasico Champions League semi-final. Barcelona to play against. First leg in the Camp Nou is 2-1 to Real Madrid. It leaves them open to go and dominate. And who is the striker for Barcelona? It's Youssoufa Moukoko, Bronny James's ex-teammate from all those years ago. Can they do enough to get through? They don't. No, Bronny, he scored his penalty, but they lost. Barcelona win. They go through to the Champions League final. Heartbreak for Bronny. What a moment that could have been to establish his legacy. And that's it. 2 Ballon d'Ors and 1 Champions League. Bronny still has a bit of a way to go. And at the moment, he's currently aged, what, 25? Yeah, he still has a couple of trophies left to win. And he's running out of time to do it. He needs to get on it now. I have to check the nominees every time because that one time he didn't get nominated. Okay, yeah, he is nominated alongside 3 Man City players. This is terrifying. Please, Haaland, don't do this to me.
2 seconds later.
No! It's Haaland. Why is it always Haaland? God's sake. It's his stupid Back with Bronny, and his Champions League legacy continues. Manchester United to play against in the Champions League semi-final. First leg is a 3-2 Real Madrid win. Oh my. So he's ahead in the tie. He's way behind Vinicius in goals, but he's slightly up on assists. Trying to find justifications for him to win the Ballon d'Or. It's kind of difficult. The Man United team is relatively unchanged. Højlund and Garnacho still spearheading it. Can Real Madrid do enough to get through? Yes, they do. A 2-1 win. They get by when they didn't last time. Reyes, the centre-back, with a goal. Vinicius with a goal as well. I feel like through our simulations, Bronny hasn't actually scored that much. In the Champions League final, they're going to be playing against, it looks like, Villarreal. Yeah, interesting. A team that they just beat 2-1 in the league. Did they win La Liga? No, they came second. Barcelona won it.
I like it.
Champions League final may be considered slightly more important. I know. Sue me. Here we go. Villarreal versus Real Madrid for Champions League glory. It's going to be Real Madrid. Bellingham and Alvaro with the goals. Bronny got taken off for Alvaro, and as Alvaro came on, he actually scored. That's unbelievable. Wow. It doesn't really matter though. Bronny wins another Champions League title. Ballon d'Or nominees are in. Bronny is there alongside Moukoko, his ex-teammate, Daniel Marino, who played in the NFL during the 1970s. I promise, by the way, I didn't make him. He's just there. We're doing a rebuild of an NBA player, and you're telling me an NFL player is going to win the Ballon d'Or instead of Bronny James? It's going to be Bronny. He gets his 3rd Ballon d'Or, and he knocks out the competition. Dan Marino is dead. 2 to go to overtake his father. 1 to equal him. That'll be an achievement in itself. But let's see if they can get to back-to-back Champions League finals. And I have good news. In the campaign for back-to-back Champions League titles, Bronny James is in the Champions League semi-final. Like I said, this team is actually slowly dying. Slowly getting worse. But it's still pretty good. It's Leverkusen to play against. In the first leg, it's a 3-1 win. They should be able to close this out, and they do. Another 3-1 win takes them into a Champions League final against Arsenal. Are they finally putting together performances in La Liga? Almost. They're tied with Barcelona. Let's go to the last day of the season and see if they can take the title. I'd say Barcelona got at least 4 points. They indeed got 6. The La Liga title is out of Real Madrid's hands. Can Bronny get a Champions League victory? The year after he gets a Champions League victory. Can he get 2 in a row in the San Siro under the brightest of lights on the 4th of June 2033? Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Will it go to Bronny? Yes, it does. A 2-1 win with Bronny scoring. Arribas in the first, Bronny in the second half. Moretti scores late, and it's not enough. Real Madrid are the Champions League winners. Bronny has 3 titles. LeBron, his father, only has 4. He's one off matching him on Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues now. 2 more to overtake him and become the best James that has ever been. Ballon d'Or nominees are in. I keep checking because I'm afraid he's not going to get nominated, but he is. It's Ansu Fati, Youssoufa Moukoko, Gabala Ramman, that's me, and Bronny James. If Bronny wins this Ballon d'Or, you have to subscribe. It's as simple as that. And he does. He wins the Ballon d'Or. That's his 4th Ballon d'Or, and that means you need to subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm racing Goodwin to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm going to win if you subscribe. LeBron James has 4 MVPs in the NBA, and then Bronny, his son, has 4 Ballon d'Ors. He needs 1 more to overtake his father's legacy and become one of the best footballers of all time. Can he do it with Real Madrid? Or will he need to move away? Look, he's an incredible player, but he's getting older now. The urgency needs to start coming into it. He did win the Champions League in back-to-back years, but if he doesn't win it this year, he might be a bit concerned. We're back at Real Madrid, and again, they're in the Champions League. They're just relentless. And this time around, they're going to be playing against Newcastle. They're 2-1 up, heading home to the Bernabeu, and it could be a Barcelona-Real Madrid Champions League final. How's he doing at Madrid? Oh my dear God! 34 and 13. 47 contributions in 49 games. The man is breaking football. The 28-year-old from America is just amazing. Can they close it out against Newcastle? They sure do. A 2-0 win against them takes them to a Champions League final against Villarreal again. Can they do the fabled three-peat for the 2nd time in the history of the club? No! They lose! Bronny scores, but Real Madrid lose. Villarreal find the strength to overturn them. Heartbreak for Real Madrid. Bronny does not get his 4th, it's all gone so wrong. But he needs to put it to the back of his mind. He can't focus on it because it's now the World Cup. A draw against Germany is amazing. A draw against Qatar is enough. That's 5 points. They're through the group stage. Oh God, Argentina in the round of 16. That is very difficult. This is the Argentina team. God, this team is so good. America versus Argentina, and it goes to Argentina. Unsurprisingly, Bronny does in fact score. It's not enough though. Caballero with the winner in the 66th minute. Overall, Bronny's World Cup career has been pretty okay, but I think it's time for Bronny to move. This team is bad and it's getting worse. Vinicius is regressing, Odegaard's regressing, Bellingham's not far off himself. He's 31 now. It's time to get out of the sinking ship. And in an interesting move, Bronny James decides to carve out his own legacy. In the Premier League, he's played for Crystal Palace and Liverpool, and now it's a 3rd Premier League club. The team he beat in the Champions League semi-final is probably the only team on the planet that has enough money to sign him. The Saudi investment group at Newcastle have put 400 million in to buy Bronny James, and guess what? He said yes. So he is gone to Tyneside to represent the Magpies and try and take them over the line and win them a Champions League. But he's not gone here for no reason. He's not just here for the money. Look at the team that he is surrounded by. Kubo on the right, Minta on the left, with Eduardo Camavinga in midfield, alongside João Neves and Martins as well. I think this is Kevin De Bruyne's regen. This is a really good Newcastle team, and while they may lack a little bit of depth, the starting 11 is exceptional. And with Bronny James up front, they could go anywhere, including Champions League glory. 2034 Ballon d'Or? Oh, he's not even nominated. We're at Newcastle at the end of the year, and they've made substantial improvements to their team. In defense, they've signed Antonio Silva, Woodward at right back. They've also signed Bush in midfield, Gardner for the left. Minta is still starting out on the right ahead of this Blanchard guy who looked better. And of course, Bronny James up front. What are they doing in the Champions League? That's a brilliant question. And also the stupidest question I've ever heard in my life, because they were never in the Champions League in the first place. They were in the UEFA Conference League, and they didn't get out of the group. They're top of the Premier League, so they're going to qualify for the Champions League definitely next season, and their team is really good. Genuine Champions League quality. A bit of a mixed bag of a season for Bronny James, but listen, there's nothing he could be too disappointed about. 26 goals and 10 assists is nothing to cry about. The only concern I really have is his age. He's now 29. He needs to win 2 Champions Leagues and 1 more Ballon d'Or. And we're coming up to the Ballon d'Or ceremony once again. Bit of a weird season with Newcastle, but they've rebuilt beautifully for a Champions League run next season. Camavinga the captain and Bronny James the superstar. Let's see if they can pull it off. But first, let's see if Bronny's finally nominated for the Ballon d'Or again. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous because this could be the moment for Bronny James to overtake his father's legacy. In 2035, it's 3 Newcastle United players. Oh my God. Ooh, this could be it for Bronny. Can he overtake his father's legacy? Can he make himself the greatest James of all time? Yes, he can! 5 Ballon d'Ors for Bronny James. He is over his father's individual legacy, but as a teammate, he's not. He's won 3 Champions Leagues and his dad has won 4 NBA titles. That means he's 2 behind. 2 to overtake his father and become the greatest undisputed in his family. Just as predicted, Champions League theming, Newcastle United are in a Champions League semi-final. It's Tyneside versus Monaco. The working class versus the 1%. It couldn't get more dramatic than this. First leg, 3-2 win to Newcastle. Here we go. Simple as this, they must win. And they do. A 3-1 win on the night puts them in a Champions League final. And they're going to be playing against Borussia Dortmund. It doesn't get much bigger than this. Can Bronny James make it 4 titles to match his dad? He does! He scores in the final, as does Gardner. And Newcastle United are Champions League winners for the very first time in the history of the club. What a historic night for Tyneside, and what a brilliant night for Bronny. His 4th title, but he's got 1 more. He's got the same as his dad now, and that's all well and good, but he wants to eliminate all doubt. He wants to win his 5th Champions League title, and he's going to do it, hopefully, with this incredible Newcastle team. And as a 30-year-old, he is one of the old heads here at Newcastle now. He's a wise head. He's done it all. He's the best player in the world. His time is now. Just to prove that Bronny James is still the best player in the world, he picks up his 6th Ballon d'Or. We're at the end of the 2037 season. Top scorer for Newcastle, 37 and 10 for Bronny James. Killing the game. And he's also the Newcastle captain, a legend on Tyneside, a Champions League winner. And is he in the semi-final again? Well, I think you already know the answer to that. Yes, he is. Manchester City to play against. They get a 3-1 win over Man City. Can they continue it? They do. They're in the Champions League final, and they're top of the league by 5 points. So they've won the Premier League as well. Next up is the FA Cup against Tottenham Hotspur. Can they close it out? A 2-0 win. That's enough. And it's the old enemy, Villarreal, in the Champions League final. And this is the Newcastle team that will walk out the tunnel on that day. In the San Siro, on this dastardly night in June. Is it enough to take Bronny James over the legacy of his father and make him the best James of all time? This is where dreams come to die, folks. It's the Champions League final. This is where hearts are broken and legacies are created. Eduardo Camavinga, by the way, playing for Villarreal, ex-Newcastle captain, now the enemy. We're going to bury him in the ground. We're going to win 25-0. Okay, we might not win 25-0. Into Viper, round the corner. Surely not. Brilliant save from the Newcastle goalkeeper. Pereira now breaking through the line for Villarreal. Another amazing save. Blanchard into Bronny James. This is our first time seeing him on the ball. It's the pink boots sprinting down the line. Woodward now into Bellingham. Newcastle looking for a way through. It's Bush on the ball into Bronny James. Puts it top bins. And Bronny with the goal. That is a massive, massive goal for his career. The Newcastle captain steps up when he is needed, and he puts his team 1-0 up in the Champions League final. LeBron must be in the San Siro now, smiling from a seat, seeing his son continue his legacy in sports. While it may not be the basketball career that he wanted it to be, it's a football career that rivals anyone's. We've reached 45 minutes. We're into added time now. Pereira into Batarina, and he's made it 1-1. Villarreal get an equalizer. That's a massive goal for their Champions League hopes. Can Newcastle fashion something here? Blanchard out on the wing. They're into the box. Into James. Poor touch. He's still got the ball. Out to Gardner. Oh my God, what a save. Woodward into Bronny with a weird touch. Into Martens. He's at the bottom corner. What a goal that might be. Martens may have just scored the winner with Bronny James instrumental in the play. Martens may have just won Newcastle their second Champions League title in a row, and he may have got Bronny his 5th title. And Villarreal have brought the keeper up here. It's a brave move. Clipped into the box. No header won. It's on the keeper. He's headed it. Keeper's not in the goal. Can they break? Are they going to break? Is it worth it? I don't think it is. The time has run out, and Newcastle United are Champions League winners. Bronny James has his 5th title. He's got 5 Ballon d'Ors, and he's got 5 Champions League titles. He is better than LeBron James. Bronny, the Newcastle United captain, the son of the king, has become royalty himself. He lifts the Champions League trophy. And having that said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, then click on this video. You will love it. It's about Messi taking on a 99 everything player and maybe even having a better career than him. Check it out. You'll love it. Make sure to subscribe.